Good stuff. Which arguments are plaguing most relationships and how should you handle them? Joining us now with more from Melbourne, psychologist and social commentator Sabina Reid. Sabina, hey there, good morning to you. Now, some say quarrels can actually be good for relationships. How on earth is that possible?
Look, fighting and conflict is part of all relationships, and really the key to working with conflict is making it work for each partner and accepting that it's part of the relationship. And it's how we deal with the conflict, not that the conflict simply exists in the relationship.
Okay, so conflict good, how you deal with it is the key. What are the top 5 issues that we bicker about?
We tend to see couples bickering about parenting, about finances. Often in-laws is a hot topic, and the division of labour within any family is very complicated for both couples, as well as just daily annoying habits. You've already talked about toilet seats. Something I hear a lot about, even in private practice, is how one stacks the dishwasher.
It's very important.
So we know that obviously when a couple's fighting, they're not really fighting about whether the knives go up or down. They're wanting their point to be heard.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we need to look beyond these matters actually, what really makes people snap? Because if you're talking about little things like that, if you're fighting over little things like that all the time, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, so I think always remember, behind every complaint, behind every criticism, there's an unmet need, there's a desire, there's a wish, and sometimes it's hard for us to ask for what we want, so we complain, we criticise and we finger point. So when we hear our partner criticising us, try and think, what is the unmet need they're asking for? What is it that they need in this relationship that they're not finding a way to ask for directly?
Well, do we have to think that to ourselves, or can we just ask it probably like this? What is your problem?
Yeah,
something like that?
Yeah, that'll get it done.
Look, what is your problem falls into the critical angle. But if you can say to them, it sounds like you wish I was doing something else, what is it that you're hoping for?
Oh, that's the way you say it.
Yeah, there's a better way to do it than you are the problem.
Got it?
Got it.
Is part of the problem the fact that men and women think and communicate differently? I think we've just, shown that beyond all reasonable doubt.
Look, we know, and research shows that men and women do think differently and communicate differently, and often women are wanting, if I had to generalise, just to share how they're feeling. And when men hear that, they feel that they're being asked to problem solve. They feel compelled to come up with a solution. And often we just want to be heard, we just want to be understood, and we're not asking for a solution. So that's an important gender difference we see.
I do have to pick you up on something there, Sabina. You say when men hear this is what they think. It's whether they're listening in the first place.
So, Kylie, it's a good point, and again, research shows that men and women process information differently. And if you notice that your man is not listening, is not engaged, it's okay to say, it looks like you're thinking about something else. When would be a good time for us to have this conversation?
Oh, never would be the answer.
Well, hopefully not never.
What should couples keep
my turn? Sorry. How should couples resolve this, apart from leaving each other at 11:30 every day?
Which works for us.
Which works perfectly well. If we could go at 11:15, we would. My God, we would. Whatever the question was, you know what I was going to ask you.
Well, what should couples keep in mind to resolve arguments?
I was trying to ask a question.
Okay, yeah. So there's a few good tips to working with conflict. One is that when you both get really overheated, overwhelmed with the argument, make a point of saying, this isn't the time to discuss it, but commit to coming back to discuss it at some point. So not just to let it leave and fester and make the wound worse. Share responsibility for the issue. It's not your responsibility, it's not his responsibility, it's joint responsibility. Now, don't make conflicts personal. Keep with the topic at hand instead of attacking your partner personally. And it's really important to listen and repeat what you've heard. Often when we speak to our partner, we think we understand what they're saying and we're running away with our interpretation of it before checking in to know that we've really got their message. And the final one is probably validating instead of agreeing. So by validating, what I mean is saying to your partner, I can understand how you would feel this way, or that makes sense to me that that's your experience. So we're not agreeing, we're validating.
Yeah, but you've got to mean it when you say it. You can't just say...
You've got to mean it. It's got to be genuine.
Mean it.
But often we can find a way to understand what each other is saying, although we don't agree with it. We can understand it. And that's often really what we're looking for from our partner.
Thank you, Sabina. Some really good advice there.
Good. And I hope you both go back to your partners at the end of the day.
Oh, God, yes.
It's actually my 14th wedding anniversary today.
Oh, so happy anniversary.
I'm going to go back to mine.
Good.
Do that.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Sabina.
Okay.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
It's nice, isn't it, when
Oh,
counsellors
it's
and
lovely. That was a
psychologists
great segment.
have 14 years together.
Yes.
Well, I think it's lovely. Like, she's giving all this advice, and clearly she practices what she preaches because they're
Clearly.
happily married for 14 years.
Will you be able to summarise that segment for me a little bit later?
Yes, I can, because I listened, and I'll be able to repeat it.
Where do you get those Lorena Bobbitt toilet seats that you've got at home?
Just ahead, Love Me Tender will reveal Robert Pattinson's new romantic connection to Elvis Presley's family. No, they're just well trained.
Can you just do the voice that you would do if the boys left the toilet seat up?
Before that, Karen has a workout.
You could be rocking your way to a hot new body, quite literally. Peter joins me this morning with a breakthrough ab machine that will literally rock your core. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Kaz. I mean, we can